What's up, Panther Nation? Welcome to Two Fans in the Stands Mock Draft Monday.
I'm your co-host, Tony.
And I'm your co-host, CJ. Welcome to our weekly series where we'll be diving into what we see as draft potential for the Carolina Panthers, what we would like to see them do with their 7 picks in this year's draft. So, not wasting any more time, let's get right into it.
Okay. So right now, Carolina has the ninth pick in the first round of the draft. So I think this is what is on everybody's mind right now. What is Carolina going to do with the ninth pick? So
Yeah.
with this first draft, what we're going to do, we're going to trade the pick. So what I'm thinking Chicago trading up to the number one overall pick, that's a little too steep because you have to think that the more positions that you jump, the more draft picks they're going to want in return because we're swapping
Yeah,
positions with them. So
exactly.
I think leave Chicago where they at. We know Houston is going to draft a quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and we know Indiana is going to draft a quarterback. So my safe bet, I think, is that we should make a trade with the Seattle Seahawks at number 5. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to initiate that trade and see what we have to give up to make that a solid trade. So let's see.
All right.
So we're going to click on trade here, and we're going to select Seattle. All right. And so we're going to trade our ninth overall pick for Seattle's fifth overall pick. And I think a second round pick this year. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that was accepted.
Hey.
So let's go. Hey, let's roll with that one.
Now,
Let's
mind you,
see
this ain't gonna
how
be this easy in real life.
right. Let's see how lucky we get. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go with that one, and let's start the trade. Let's start the draft. All
All
right.
right. Well,
So of
yeah. Go.
course
Just
we're not going to make any. We
yeah.
just made a trade, so we're not going to do
Mm-hmm.
anything with this. We're going to just reject all these right here,
Mm-hmm. And
and
and I just want to say that it's wild because when we do these mock drafts, it seems like this has Indianapolis just enamored with Will Levis because I've done a lot
yeah,
of these off screen, and it seems like they draft Will Levis a lot, and
yeah.
it's only February, so a lot can change between now and the draft. But if this was to play out like this, I think this would be one of the best case scenarios for the Panthers.
This is the win-win on all levels right here.
Yeah.
Like C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
and Bryce Young
Bryce
is
Young.
available. Even if we were going defense first, say if we
I ain't
had
say
a
Bryce.
yeah, Bryce Young is right
Yeah.
there.
I just saw him. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like in reality, it probably wouldn't even play out like this, right?
Not at all.
But this is the mock draft. We're gonna roll with it. So,
Roll with it.
in my opinion, I believe CJ Stroud would be my selection if I was the
Mm-hmm.
general manager of the Panthers. So we're going to
Yep.
take CJ Stroud right here, and I'm basing that off of course, his size. He's a true pocket passer. He's very accurate. He throws with anticipation. He don't get rattled. He plays with a lot of composure. So there's a lot to his game that's ready for the NFL right now,
Mm-hmm.
and that he can also build upon. And I like his
Yeah.
size 6'3, 6'4, 218, 220. So that's good size. He's not a
Yeah.
dual threat quarterback, but he can move a little bit if need be. But I definitely like it for his accuracy and his anticipation, all the little intangibles. So we're gonna take
Yeah.
CJ Stroud with the first pick. And what do you know gives us an A plus, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
So our next pick is pick 39.
Look there. Well, let me tell you, I know this is mock draft. Nah, he
Oh,
gone. I was like,
yeah, I
damn.
know.
I was looking at
you,
Michael Mayer right there.
yeah, yeah. You were looking. Hey, we both was looking at the same thing. We both was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the same thing. So we're not gonna trade
Yeah.
away this second round pick up. We just traded our
Yeah.
second round pick. So
And
we're
we
gonna
want to
reject
focus
these trade
on
offers.
picks in like this year's draft. So what I usually when I do these drafts, I don't worry about anybody sending me a bunch of picks from next year's draft because, like I said, this is just a mock draft simulator.
Now we got our franchise quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, where do you think we should go next?
The one thing that we were missing all year this year was a playmaking tight end. Okay,
Yes,
because there was nobody in this league that was scared of Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble. Now, I'm not saying that they're
exactly.
both bad players, but they're no vertical threat up the field. Now, they made
Right.
catches, yes, but they're not. Defenses aren't consistently worried about, hey, we got to make sure we get somebody on Ian Thomas, somebody on Tommy Tremble, or God say, we got to double Carolina's tight ends because that's just not happening. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. You're right with that.
what's interesting here though, is Jamar Gibbs is still available from Alabama.
But
Okay.
here's the thing with that right now, as weak as the roster currently stands right now,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take Jameer Gibbs with the second pick right now because we have two pretty
Mm-hmm.
reliable running backs right now. Like Jameer Gibbs, in my opinion, is not going to
Mm-hmm.
come in and start over Deontay Foreman
Yeah.
or Chuba Hubbard right away. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for starters, potential
Mm-hmm.
day one starters. So when I think about the tight end position, even though Michael Mayer is gone, Darnell Washington is a good tight end, but he's not a
Mm-hmm.
big playmaking tight end. He's more of a blocking tight end that can
Mm-hmm.
make a few catches, make a few
Yeah.
catches every now and then. I like
Now, now,
Dalton
now, I didn't
Kincaid.
say I. Now, I didn't say that we should draft Jameer Gibbs. I was just saying it was interesting that he is there, and this will probably
Yeah,
go into another, one of these mock drafts in the future. But potential free agency, and just say the Panthers are dumb enough not to bring Deontay Foreman back. So that's why I was saying it
see,
was it was
I'm
interesting.
not gonna go there with you today. We ain't getting ready to start that. We are not getting ready to start that. We gonna assume that our head office is
I'm
gonna make
with you.
smart decisions
I'm with you. I'm with
and
you. I'm with
and
you.
do what's right. And
All
thus
right.
far, Scott Fitterer has not let us down, in my
No.
opinion. So,
No. Mm-mm. Yeah. But
um,
I would say tight end. And like you said, I agree. Darnell Washington, I think he's a good prospect, but is he more of a blocking tight end with potential, or is he going to be more of a stretch the defense tight end? Like, hey, you got to make sure you put one or two people on me, or I'm going to torch you.
right.
So
And see, I think Dalton Kincaid fits more of that mold.
I agree.
So, right, I think that would be the smartest pick right now.
Yeah, I
So
I agree with you on that one.
let's take Dalton Kincaid right here.
All right.
Okay. So we don't pick again to pick 93.
93. And
Right.
I saw Luke Musgrave go across the screen right there. They said he is having an excellent senior bowl week so far. So that's
Yeah,
somebody
he
else to
did.
watch out for.
I watched the Senior Bowl game yesterday, and he did pretty good. Tajay Spears, the
Mm-hmm.
running back from Tulane,
Tulane. Yep.
had a pretty good day. The big receiver from Stanford, Mark Watson, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He had an okay game. He did
Okay.
pretty good. So there was some there were some standouts yesterday. You could see their potential.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah. So here we
Yeah.
go. Third round, pick 93. Now
Nah.
there's 5 trade offers, but like I said, as it stands right now, we're going to just utilize these draft picks. We're not going to do
Yeah. Because
anything
we're
out of the
down one
ordinary.
already.
Right. Right. We're already down one. And we made that initial trade because that's a, that's pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? That's pretty much a no-brainer right now. I think Carolina is
Yeah.
going to make some type of move up to get the quarterback that they want.
Yeah.
So we got that
Let's
out
hope
the
so.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we got five remaining picks. So I don't think we're gonna be willing to deal it too much. So let's just stick with the draft picks that we
Let's hold
have.
on. Let's
So
hold on. Let's see what the other ones are first.
you want to see what the other ones
Let's
are?
yeah, let's see what the other ones are.
Okay. So Kansas City is basically offering 2
Two
rounders
six
and
round
a
picks.
second,
Yeah.
third, and fifth next year. So really that's a no go. Baltimore is offering a
Yeah, nah.
fourth, fifth, and a 6 rounder in 2024. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
all three. No. So the Raiders are offering the fourth, fifth, and the
Fifth and the
sixth, and the
sixth.
seventh next year.
Yeah. That's not a bad trade for a different mock draft Monday.
Right. If we hadn't already gotten rid of our second pick in this draft, then
Yeah.
I wouldn't be, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be so hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one might be one that I'd be willing to do right here.
Yeah.
Uh, okay,
Ooh. Now look that now
okay,
I'd fire on that one. Like I said, that's a different mock draft Monday. This is one of those type of trades in the draft simulator that I'd be like, okay, cool, because you get immediate return in this version of the
right.
simulation. Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, but
because
we're gonna
you traded 1 for 4. I mean, that's a no
yeah,
brainer.
yeah, and it's
You
yeah, like I
know,
said, it's definitely a simulation.
right? Definitely a simulation. Because Bill Belichick ain't giving up that.
Hell no.
So let's just keep it all the way real with that one. So let's see what this last. Okay, so that was it. So
Mm-hmm.
let's just go and see what's the best available. So the suggestion is DJ Turner, who is a big corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tyreek Stevenson.
Another corner.
Yeah, another corner.
That,
Parker
that's
Washington.
that's definitely a position of need for us is a corner.
Right, but I think because the premium right now, I guess. So right now, let's just see. Because now I'm thinking defense. Because we
Mm-hmm.
know we got so many holes on defense to fill. Whether we know we need another edge to go opposite of Brian Burns. We
Yeah.
know Derrick Brown needs a running mate because we don't know what Matt Ioannidis is going to do. He's a free agent this year.
Yeah.
So then the linebacker core, 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, Shaq Thompson ain't gonna be back next year, and it's not due to his play. He carries
Mm-hmm.
a $24 million salary
Contract.
cap hit, right?
Yeah.
So Carolina's gonna be looking to free up money so they can go after other free agents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta have money to spend money, and right now they 9 million in the red. So he
Yeah.
might be a cap casualty because I think he got the largest cap hit on the team this year. So
Yeah, I think so. If not the largest,
how?
he's right up there.
Yeah, Corey Littleton, his contract is out. So
Yeah.
and they talking about cutting Damian Wilson, who was a non-factor this year. So you basically
Yeah.
need to rebuild that linebacker core. So let's see what we got edge, and then we'll see what we got linebacker.
Okay. Will
Now
McDonald.
I've heard about Keon White.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he played in the Senior Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
Byron Young had a good Senior Bowl. I can't never pronounce this
Yeah,
guy's
whatever his
name,
name.
but yeah, Double A. We'll call him Double A
Double A. There
today.
you go. Double A.
So these are guys that I think that one of them will be available when we pick at 114. Let's see what we got linebackers. Now, Dason Henley is a linebacker, kind of put you in the mind of Shaq Thompson. He played
Mm-hmm.
quarterback in high school, and
Okay.
he picked up a little size, and then he made the switch to linebacker in college. He's
Okay.
fast. He's got good instincts and a
Mm-hmm.
good tackler. Ventrell Miller is pretty good. Iron Pace is there. Now they
Yeah.
got Isaiah Land as a linebacker, but because he's only like 6'4", 220, but
Mm.
he's a edge rusher.
Edge
He
rusher.
he
Gotcha.
plays edge. Yeah, he plays defensive end for Florida A&M. But I think he'll be more of a project because at 6'4", 220, you're not putting him on the edge in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And
Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say I don't really want the Panthers to deal in too many projects. The only project that I am willing to accept, and of course, I say I'm not the Panthers, so but is quarterback, because any of these guys that we draft, it's going to be a project to a certain extent, depending on who we draft. CJ Stroud is going to be a lot less of a project than Will Levis or Anthony Richardson or anybody after that. So, but yeah, I'm hoping that with these later picks in the draft, because I've always said this, the Panthers' first round history pretty good. First round history, I would say is damn good. Second round,
Right,
pretty good. Third round on, it's always been really shaky for the Panthers, with a few exceptions, a few. But I really hope that this year that Fitterer, Reich, the scouts, they all get together and they make a consensus and informed and fact-based decisions, on all the picks, but especially the later round picks. So
right.
I,
I'm
I
with you
tend
on
to,
that.
yeah, I tend to go with somebody, now who is, and I don't know this 100%, but
Right.
that's just me. Anybody in this draft could be a damn project, so you never know.
Yeah. So with this 93rd pick, what we're gonna do here?
If you
Keanu
think
Benton. Keanu Benton had a really good week at the Senior Bowl. He like
yeah.
1-on-ones. He was like unblockable. Like this guy was like destroying offensive linemen during
Mm-hmm.
Senior Bowl weekend and whatnot. Um, Zach Pickens is a former 5-star. Byron Young, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama. I mean,
Yeah.
ain't too much to say on that one. He gonna
Yeah.
be ready.
I
Go
say I
ahead.
say we go D line. I say we go
D
D
line.
line. Yeah, because Derek Brown definitely needs a running mate pretty bad. Like you
Okay.
said, if
I'm gonna go.
Ioannidis doesn't come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Keanu Benton right here.
Okay.
All right.
Now next one, 114.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Now
okay.
I don't know. I don't know much about. I don't know anything about Julius Brent.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Washington. I mean Xavier Hutchinson is a big body wide receiver out of Iowa State.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't watched too much tape on him. I just know that he's a big body. He has some speed. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
consistent or inconsistent his hands are, or anything
Yeah.
like that. So, uh, because I know we need so much help on defense, I think we should stick with the defense side of the ball. What you think?
Yeah. I'm tending to agree because Terrace Marshall Jr., I think put in the right spot and given the opportunity in this new offense that's coming to Carolina, I think
Right,
he will have an opportunity to shine.
right,
So
right. I agree with that.
we yeah, I think we would be more so in the market for another slot receiver.
Another
You know,
another slot receiver.
yeah.
Let's see what we got out there. Huh? Now, I like Trey Palmer out of Nebraska. Went to
Mm-hmm.
LSU, transferred
Yeah.
to Nebraska. I also like Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma. Little on the smallish size.
Yeah.
On the, he's very small. What I'm trying to say, but but productive. You know what I
Mm,
mean.
yeah.
I don't know too much about Dontavian Wicks. I've heard about him. I haven't had
Mm-hmm.
a chance to watch any tape on him yet. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Jaden Reed had a great senior week. He was
okay.
like basically unguardable. I mean, this guy was like he was breaking ankles
Yeah.
for real.
Okay.
you know, but that might be something that we can grab with him later on down the road. But if you're looking
Now question.
for,
A
go ahead.
question real quick. Now, do you want to swing back to linebackers and see if any of those are still there before we
Yeah,
draft
yeah,
the
we
wide
can.
receiver?
Yeah, we can look
See
and
what's
see what we got.
what.
I
Okay.
mean, Dayan Henley. Uh,
Nick Herbert, Herbig,
I
however
don't
you
know
say that.
about too much about him. Ivan Pace.
Hmm. Yeah, I've Pace is lasted to the later rounds in damn near every one of these drafts I've done.
Right.
Um, I, me personally, I say we go linebacker here. Like you said, Shaq Thompson may be he may not be back because like you said, his contract is really big. So
Yeah.
you know,
All right. So we'll take Dayan Henley right here then.
okay,
All right. Oh, we got an A out of that one.
all right, bet.
Okay. So we pick 132 and 147 next.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think
Here we
even
go.
if somehow Shaq Thompson stays, we still need linebacker help. You know, because him,
Yeah.
Frankie Louvu, and depending on what scheme our new defensive coordinator comes in running, I think
Right.
we do need a solid third linebacker, and
Like
that's been the issue all year.
right now, Frankie Louvu is the only linebacker I could see staying with Carolina next year. Only reason I say that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
because Damian Wilson is going to get cut.
gone. Corey
Corey
Littleton
Littleton,
gone.
this was his. He only had a 1 year contract.
Yeah,
I don't
he
think
he
he's going to be
gone.
brought back. And then you have to make that decision about Shaq Thompson.
Yeah.
Do you restructure his contract again?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because they just did it like a year or two ago. I don't know how many
Yeah.
times you can kick that can down the road and
Yeah. Yeah.
not have
Yeah.
it come
Yeah.
back to bite you. So then you have to factor in. Okay, he had the most tackles so far in his career this year,
Mm-hmm.
but you and I both know watching the games, his play
Yeah.
didn't his production didn't necessarily match up with those tackles. I mean, does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes. He had a
Yeah.
lot of quantity, and but there was some quality missing in those numbers.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
Yeah.
like I said, when you talking about basically a new regime coming in, new
Mm-hmm.
head coach, new offense coordinator, no new defense coordinator,
Yeah.
they're gonna want to bring in their own people. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And when
True.
he carried a cap casualty, I mean a cap payment
Cap hit.
of 24
Yeah.
million, yeah, cap hit of 24 million. I mean that's a lot to overcome, and I don't think
Yeah.
I don't believe that Carolina is in a position or want to put them in a position to deal with that. That
Yeah,
that
I
that's
agree.
that's yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah,
I like him being the elder statesman. You know, he embodies keep pounding,
yeah.
but
But he got to
it's a
produce.
business. It's a business. It's a
Yeah,
business.
yeah. You're
So
right. It's a business first. We learned that firsthand this year.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You get rid of that one there.
yeah, we can get rid of this one right here. All right. So we're going linebacker again.
No, I wouldn't say we go line back again because we
Okay.
only got two. We only got two picks left. I would say we
Let's see what's on the edge.
see what's on the
Oh,
edge.
Byron Young. Bingo.
Byron Young.
My man right there. That's an A
Yeah,
plus
I'm
right
with
there.
it. Go
I
ahead.
haven't even hit it yet, and I know it's A plus.
Yep.
Bam.
There you go. And shoot, and I say what
Yes.
I say we look at cornerback for our, our last one. Now mind you,
But
if
we gotta get an
we
edge. We gotta get an edge. We haven't got an edge yet. We gotta
well,
get
they
Brian
got
Burns
Byron
a
Young
running man.
listed. Well, we
You
got
know what?
Byron Young
Yes.
listed as edge.
You are
Is he?
correct. You are
Yeah,
correct. I got a little excited. I got a little excited.
you good. Now I will say this: if the Panthers, when it comes time to actual draft, I'm hoping if they wait until the later rounds to pick up a cornerback, then that means that maybe they've done something in free agency to help shore up that position, and this is more of a depth pick, potential grooming somebody to come up.
Right.
So, but
Well,
yeah,
seeing that's the thing about mock draft Mondays, especially this being our first installment.
mm-hmm.
We don't know none of that because none of that
Yeah,
has taken place. So we
yeah,
don't know what we're going to do in free agency and what the overall picture, the overall scheme of things is going to look like
yeah,
when it comes draft time. Because
yep,
my mentality and thinking of what we may do is largely in part about what we do in free
your
agency.
free
You
agency,
know what I
yep,
mean? So,
I got you.
but yeah, so like we said, this is the first. This is the first mock draft Monday. So we're going to just go based solely off these picks that we have
Yeah,
available. All
got you.
right. So we're gonna do this. Okay,
We can
let's
look
just
at
do
them.
away with. Okay,
We
you want to look
just
at
look
them?
at them. Yeah, yeah, just look
All
at them.
right, Miami. No, that's
Yeah,
all
that's
next
terrible.
year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all next
Yeah,
year. That's
yeah. 2 sevens, man. I'd rather go ahead and get the talent now than let me see.
uh,
Oh no, we are we already in the seventh round now?
pick
Man,
one
Dallas
forty
just
seven. No, we're in the fifth.
fifth.
Okay, remember we don't have a
I'm
6 or 7
sorry.
round pick this year.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It clearly says it right there. My
So
bad.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, we can
that
get rid of
is
those.
yeah. All right.
Okay,
Okay, so we got a quarterback, tight end.
tight end,
We got a defensive lineman, linebacker, and the
backer,
edge.
edge. Okay, let's look cornerback. See what's left.
Okay.
Cameron Mitchell, Max Melton. I
Now,
haven't done any research with any
Keytrail
of these.
Clark,
Mm-hmm.
Keytrail Clark puts you in the mind of Dante Jackson. He's small in stature. He's like
Mm-hmm.
5'11", 180, but he is a pure slot corner. Like
Okay.
he got that twitch,
Mm-hmm.
that burst
Yeah.
that could sorry, I didn't mean to smack my teeth. But
You
he has
good.
that yeah, I felt that one. He has that he has that quick twitch that can line up with smaller
Yeah.
receivers in the slot. Is what I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to say. But he is strictly a slot receiver. I wouldn't play him on the outside. So if
Yeah.
you want to, I mean, Keytrail Clark is a possibility right there. But I want to see
Mm-hmm.
safeties. I want to look at safeties
Okay.
for 1 minute. Okay, we got some good safeties out there. You got Rashard Torrance from
Mm-hmm.
Florida. Don't know
Yeah.
much about him. Jair Brown from Penn State. He had a pretty good year. Let's
And you
see.
know, a lot of people have been calling for the Panthers to kind of take Jeremy Chin and move him back into that kind of hybrid linebacker spot, and then we get another safety to take his spot in the secondary. Because I'm not gonna lie, his first, what did he play? That his first, no, his first season
His first
was
year.
his.
His first year.
Okay, yeah, and he
Like
he
Cam
he was very
Chancellor
productive.
2.0.
Exactly, he was very productive out of that spot. So this
Yeah,
might not be a bad pickup.
yeah. Cause his, like I said before the season start, his read and react skills when it comes to dissecting routes
Hmm.
and breaking on them in time, it's not there. You know,
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be playing the free safety position.
yeah, I
It's
got you.
one thing to do it at Southern Illinois. That's Southern
Yeah,
Illinois.
NFL is a whole nother
You
story.
you exactly. So why
Yeah,
not put him back in a position where he was most productive, like he was his first year? That I mean, that's
I agree.
that's 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 where he made the most noise. You know, that's where he
I
made the
agree.
most noise. So yeah, that strong safety in the box safety,
Hmm.
line him up over a tight end. You know, get the running backs coming out of the backfield or whatnot. Don't line him up on the wide receiver. They gonna have a field
Nah,
day with him. Don't do that.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
then if they do that, I hope that's another position that they address in free agency. And like I said, same thing with cornerback. If we're picking this late for cornerback or a safety, that's something that they've already looked at, and this is just depth in a more sort of a project, but somebody who could potentially step up if needed.
Right.
Because like right now, behind Jeremy Chin and Xavier Woods, it's it's not that great in my opinion.
Now because we do need the help, we're going to need the help at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
How about we just take another linebacker right here and see what happens?
Hey, go for
All right. So who I don't know much about Nick
it.
Herbig.
Mm-hmm.
We know Ivan Pace. He's more of an outside linebacker. I don't know whether he'll
Yeah.
be playing the weak, the wheel linebacker or
Mm-hmm.
the Sam linebacker, but he's outside linebacker. Um, I tell you who I think also will be a good linebacker. A good linebacker. Now I wouldn't take him right now, but Aubrey Miller Jr. out of Jackson State,
Jackson
he
State.
had a
Okay.
yeah, he had a pretty good Senior Bowl week.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some. He was out there laying the wood. He was out
Okay.
there laying the wood yesterday. So
Yeah. Well, since this is our last pick and we're not making no trades, go ahead and snatch them up just for the sake of drafting
just okay. Let's
them.
see.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do
Like
that
I
then.
said, mock draft Mondays. Look, they gave us a D
All right.
plus.
Yeah, give us a deep.
Okay.
Dang, Gina.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what our first mock draft money looks like, Panthers fans. We had 6 picks. We traded the number 9 pick overall to Seattle for the 5th pick and selected CJ Stroud. So I hope
Mm-hmm.
that pick made everyone happy. We
Yeah.
pretty much have come to the conclusion that that's what Carolina is going to do. So why not just jumpstart the mock draft Monday off on a good note, right? So
Give
then we
everybody what
go
they want to see.
give them what they want to see, right? So then we follow that up with a pass catching tight end that we
Mm-hmm.
sorely needed all year long in Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. If you haven't
Yep.
had a chance to see him play, go check him out on YouTube. I've caught about 3 Utah games this year and about 2 last year. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
the boy is a baller. Trust me,
Got
he's a
hands.
baller. Um, like I said, Keanu Benton didn't know much about him to the Senior Bowl week this week, but he was definitely dominating 101s. And Deion Henley, pretty much just have been following him throughout the season,
Mm-hmm.
because I heard his name and stuff, and I think he'll be a pretty good addition as linebacker. And Byron Young, the edge out of Tennessee, he's
Yeah.
also a game changer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's pretty good. So I'm feeling kind of good about our first mock draft Monday, and of course we got Aubrey Miller, Jackson State. You know, got to represent for the
JSU.
HBCUs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling
And
pretty good about our first mock draft Monday.
yeah, and I just want to say, since we since we drafted man out of Jackson State, my son goes to North Carolina Central and he's in the band, and he's still all excited about the Celebration Bowl where they won. So Cam, if you seeing this, buddy, shout out to you in the band.
Yeah. So what you think about this? About these 6 picks that we have right here?
I think it's a solid start, for our mock draft series. Um, like I said, in the coming weeks, it's going to be a lot different, especially depending on
Right.
after free agency starts. And then we'll get to
Right.
looking at some of the things that, Carolina will need and will not need, depending on what we pick up. But the only way that we're going to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young,
Bryce Young.
is if we trade up. My
Yeah.
only fear is that if we don't go high enough, because now in this one, Indianapolis drafted Will Levis,
Right.
but you know what there's a chance that if they get that number, what is it, number 4 pick, they got number 4 or number 5.
Who?
It was no, 4. They was ahead of us in this one. 4.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
they
Number
would have
4.
take CJ Stroud with that number 4 pick, and then that leaves us with the conundrum that we've talked about for weeks about Will Levis versus Anthony Richardson, and the consensus here on Two Fans in the Stands is we really don't want either one of them, but you know we'll see.
Well, the whole thing. I don't even want Anthony Richardson name in the conversation like that is I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't even. Yeah, I just don't get that. I just don't get that. I just his name being thrown out there to me, in my opinion, is based solely on a Cam Newton comparison, and
Yeah.
because it's Carolina and Carolina needs a quarterback. This is
Mm-hmm.
what these draft analysts and all these,
Mm-hmm.
these pundits, they want to link because they feel like Carolina fans, they want the next Cam Newton. Well, if you go
Yeah.
back and really look at his tape, he is not a
He ain't no
good
Cam
thrower.
Newton.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Enough
ain't no
said.
Cam Newton, folks. Yeah.
I do have to soften my stance a little bit on Will Levis because when I went back and looked at some tape,
Mm-hmm.
even though he didn't have a great year this year,
Yeah.
he still completed 65% of his balls.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the receivers that he was throwing to are NFL caliber receivers. Like none of them are. Like I can't even tell you one receiver
Yeah.
from the University of Kentucky this year. So I think it
He
was.
right.
I think a lot of it had to do with the type of talent that he had around him.
So basically what you're saying is he had an arm like say he had a cannon for an arm, he had the footwork of God, but his receivers had hands of bricks. Let me stop.
That part,
Yeah,
that
so
part.
yeah.
But he, I know I was comparing him a lot to Carson Wentz. I was calling him Carson Wentz
Mm-hmm.
2.0. But
Yeah.
then after going back and watching some of his tape, some of his highlight,
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say just a little bit. You can kind of put him in that category of when Josh Allen came out of Wyoming. Nobody knew who Josh Allen was. Nobody outside of Josh Allen, you couldn't name another player that
Yeah.
played for the University of Wyoming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But he got to the right organization with
Yeah.
the right coaches, and they developed him, and they surrounded him with talent. Now,
Yeah.
with Frank Wright being the head coach now, former quarterback, and then you bring in an offense coordinator that knows how to groom a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They might can take Will Levis and do something with him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Possibility. Yeah.
he's a big boy, 6'4", 235. He chiseled, he rocked up. So you
Mm-hmm.
know he can take a hit if necessary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
My like I said, my stance softened on him a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Your
I'm
stance
still
softened a
kind of
lot. Yeah.
yeah,
You.
I'm still kind of leery on him because the thing that got me the most with him was his anticipation. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Throwing with anticipation, um,
Yeah.
reading the field, going through his
Mm-hmm.
coverages, and trusting what he sees. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's a problem with a lot of quarterbacks these days, and how they get themselves in trouble because they don't trust their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That like Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield. That's when you in
Oh.
the that's when you're in the backfield, burping the baby. You just back
Yeah.
there
Oh my
playing
God.
burping the baby and playing
He
patty
he
cake.
he was back
You
there
know what I'm
doing the
saying?
bank head bounce with the ball like this. Just sitting there like, who do I throw it to? Who do I throw it to? I don't
Right,
know. Oh, I'm gonna get sacked. Yeah.
right, exactly. So
Yeah.
we gotta if you can if if we select him and Frank Wright can work with him and coach him coach him up and
Mm,
get him at a get him into a good place,
yeah.
then I
We'll
think
see.
the pick would be worth it. But we don't know what the true value will be until we get him and if things play out that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is
So
very true. This is
yeah.
very true.
But yeah, I had to say that, because me the past 3-4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
couple months, I've been hard on. I'm like, who,
Yeah.
what? Because and rightfully so, because if you when you think about it, if people follow him, Will Levis left Penn State because he couldn't beat out Sean Clifford. Well,
Yeah.
Sean Clifford is garbage. you know,
Yeah.
I hate to
Yeah.
say it like that, but come on, if you couldn't beat him out, and then you come to Kentucky, and now
Mm-hmm.
they talking about you being a possible number 1 overall pick. How?
Yeah. But
What?
hey,
Come on,
you
man.
know what I always say in these episodes. You know what I always say. Some people flourish in certain situations, certain environments, certain coaches, certain schemes, the stuff around them. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just with the ninth pick and knowing that we are in dire need of a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you Carolina has to be thinking with the mindset. This quarterback either has to have the ability to come in and start day one,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
at least have the potential to come in at some point in time during the first season and become the starting quarterback. You know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
to me,
So
Anthony Richardson, that's too much of a project. He's not going to see the
yeah, he is.
field for a couple of years. You don't waste
Yeah.
your ninth overall draft pick for Anthony Richardson. I don't care if he ran the for 340.
Yeah.
You're going to pay him to throw the ball, not run the
Mm-hmm.
ball.
This is true.
If you want somebody to run the ball, Bijan Robinson to be available. Get him.
True.
All
This is
right.
facts.
So I'm gonna leave that alone because I can go on and on and on about it. But
Yeah.
hey, that's just my 2 cents, just my opinion. It's neither right nor wrong. It's just an opinion, and it's mine.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I'm
but
gonna
this
roll with
is
that.
it's like we say here. We're just two fans in the stands, and these are our opinions. You
That's
know.
it. That's it, baby. That's
But
it.
yeah. But that'll wrap it up for our first mock draft Monday. Stay tuned. This will be a weekly series where things will get different. We'll have different scenarios, and as the off season pans out, we will start to see how this draft may or may not shape up. So just be on the lookout. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all the love and support. And as you see on the screen, we are working towards our goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, and if you like our content, please click that subscribe button, like, and spread the word. And as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding.